Live.
Good evening, and this is Methil Krish again back with the teachers who want to know on a very important, crucial, critical topic. How do we go about motivating students? Teachers, I know that all of you are at home every day on a live class through smartphones, students sitting in their houses, learning what is being taught. You try to understand from your end as to whether the students have really learned what has been taught to them. You don't see them on the screen, but they all will see you on the screen. So this is the current situation through which every teacher from every school is going through. These days are not going to be the same as we roll out of each day to a week, then to a fortnight, then to a month, and then to a quarter, and so on. Because I believe the problems that we are facing today, the difficulties, the hurdles that we are experiencing today is certainly a temporary one. And there'll be a day when we all will go back to the schools and start teaching our children in a classroom. Why have I taken this particular topic of motivating students? This is a topic which I have been going around to different schools, talking to the teachers as to how one should go motivating students in their classrooms. And I've been doing this for almost more than a decade. I, in fact, lost touch for the last maybe a year and a half for reasons that I was more into interacting with students rather than with teachers. But I suddenly felt about 10 days back that our teachers, as I mentioned, is not going to teach all their life long, sitting at home. So it is going to be a blended learning, teaching and learning process in the future. And I am confident, as I mentioned to you earlier, the teachers have to go back to the classrooms. And the most difficult part of a teacher's profession is to motivate the children in the classroom. So I want you all to listen to me for the next 45 minutes to 50 minutes. And if you have any queries on this particular subject, motivating the students, please put it on the chat box. And I'll be only too willing to clear all your doubts on this subject, on which I have done so many researches to find as to why we are not able to motivate all the students in our classroom. When I say motivation, why is that we are not able to motivate all the students? I underline that particular word, all the students. Why is that a teacher is not able to create that 100% impact in the classroom? Why is that a child listens to you maybe for 10 minutes and the rest of the 30 minutes he only hears you? Why is that there are some students in your class that they don't even listen to you for 40 minutes? Now they hear what is being told. Their mind is totally away. And you would have tried many strategies, I would say tricks, to bring them back to listening to you. And I'm sure 90 out of 100 teachers would have failed in their attempt in motivating them to listen to what is being taught in a classroom. And that is why we are going to be here for the next 50 minutes or so And I'm sure this session is going to bring you some life when you go back to your classroom with a lot of vigor, energy, and then be with our children. So the topic is motivating students. It's my breakthrough, which means the students can be motivated. As usual, I would like you to look at the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham headquarters, Coimbatore, and that's our Chancellor, Mata Amrita Devi. And whatever we are here is because of our guiding light and the support and the blessings that Amma has showered on us from the time of our institution came in as early as 1996. We became a university in the year 2003, one of those youngest universities. And today we have grown leaps and bounds, creating records, breaking records, and being recognized for many of those achievements that we have been putting onto our caps year after year. Again, it's not out of place for me to mention that, yes, as per the Times Higher Education, Amrita is the #1 private university from India. As far as the NIRF, the National Institutional Ranking Framework, in India, that is by the MHRD, we have been declared as the 4th best university in our country. Nothing much to explain about this for want of time, but then it was about 2 weeks back, the utter ranking of institutional innovations and achievements ranked us as the 4th best university again in the field of creativity and innovation. Thanks to all who have made this possible as far as Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is concerned, and on behalf of AVVP, I thank you for the support and pray that these supports will continue to remain as we keep moving forward for much higher recognitions, laurels, and your prayers and wishes will certainly add more value in achieving further heights in the academics and other activities that AVVP is taking up currently and in the future. So thank you so much. When I bring in certain topics, I always have my teacher. And before I talk about the teacher, we have now representing 6 campuses, 2 in Kerala, Cochin, and Kollam, Amritapuri, 2 in Tamil Nadu, Chennai and Coimbatore, 2 in Karnataka, Bangalore and Mysore. And I'm sure in the year 2021, we would come out with our 5th campus at Amravati in Andhra Pradesh. And it is not too far that we would be going for the world's top 10 medical college hospital at Faridabad in the NCR region of Delhi. So in the next 1 year or so, from 6, we'll grow up to 8 campuses. We have all streams, barring law, as I mentioned always in my talk. So hopefully you also would come up with a Amrita School of Law in the future. This is what I want all of you to hear for a minute. Whatever we are is because of our teacher, and we just crossed the Teacher's Day. That today is what? Today is 6th, 7th, 8th. Couple of days back, all of us would have celebrated Teacher's Day, and especially those teachers who are listening to me today would have received more calls and more chats on WhatsApp or LinkedIn or through mails, thanking for your blessings, thanking for your teachings, thanking for your being with them from the 1st standard till 12th standard, thanking you for that particular extra time that you had spent for a child, thanking you for bringing in a transformation in that particular child, thanking you for whatever they are today. And I'm sure that was one of those glorious a magnificent day in your life when your student calls you up and say, teacher, I am today what I am because of you. So similarly, I too have a teacher whom I can never, ever, ever, never forget in my life is Mrs. Susan Chacko. Mrs. Susan Chacko was my class teacher in my 8th standard in the year 1970. I think people who wanted to have a look at Susan Chacko, and she's no more, and she retired as the principal of Island Grounds of Kendriya Vidyalaya, Chennai. So whatever I am, I dedicate the entire life of mine to Mrs. Susan Chacko, because Mrs. Susan Chacko was not a teacher. Mrs. Susan Chacko was a mother to me in the school. And I always advise, instruct, reinforce, reiterate the fact, teachers, be a parent in the school and be a teacher at home. Because they depend on you. They depend only on you. And you owe a lot for those children. It is they who is feeding our family. I repeat what I'm saying. If I ask some of the teachers who are here, who gives you the salary for the month is the management, I would say it is those children who come to study. Those are the fees that they are being paid are those turning out to be our monthly income. It is the student who pays us the salary. Take care of that. Please take care of this. Keep this in mind when you treat a student in a different manner. I'm sure none of the teachers will do that, but the fact of the matter is, it is their fees that we are getting month after month. May not be for the government schools, but for a private school, it is certainly the government provides. The government also provides that particular salary is through that taxes that we all pay. So we have contributed. But for any private school, it is the student who pays our salary. And that's why in some schools, they are not able to make the payment because the students haven't paid the fees. Why I'm saying this, we owe a lot to our children. Don't forget this fact. Don't forget this fact. Maybe right or maybe wrong, I'm wrong or right, that doesn't really matter. But for me, whatever I get from my university, it is because of our children. So I owe a lot to them. So here is a teacher whom I owe a lot, and I remembered her during the 5th September, during the Teachers' Day, but I couldn't call her up because she's not with us today. Thank you, teacher ma'am, for what I am today here. I salute you for that. So let's get on to the motivation breakthrough. Let me tell you, teachers, there are many teachers who are not attending this. There are many teachers who are not attending this particular 45 minutes deliberation of mine, thinking that they know everything on motivation. And let me tell you the research that I've done in the last maybe 10 years back on this motivation. None of the teachers can raise the hand and say that they know the true meaning of motivation. I bet on each of the teachers is not those dictionary meaning of motivation that I'm asking, the real meaning of motivation. None of the teachers know about it. That's the number one finding which I got on my research. Number two, without knowing the true meaning of motivation, 99.9% of the teachers take on to certain activities in the school, certain strategies in the school to motivate the children. How do you do that without knowing the true meaning of motivation? So please, teachers, we are blind on this particular word called motivation. This word called motivation, we are blind on it because we don't know what exactly this motivation is all about. And we need to get a breakthrough so that our children are benefited out of this word called motivation. So let's go on. Let's go on, teachers. Maybe you're angry with me. The third thing which I understood when I went on to a research is that even I didn't understand the word meaning, the true meaning of what motivation is all about. So one is the teachers don't know the meaning of motivation. Number two, I myself, Methil Krish, do not know the meaning of motivation. And the third is, without knowing the true and the real meaning of motivation, we initiate certain actions in the classroom to motivate a student. It's like a doctor giving a prescription, a pill and a syrup without knowing what the ailment is all about. Imagine the condition of the patient. So this is what is the finding of my research. I did it as early as 2005, 2006. Let me tell you one very important thing. Let me tell you one very important thing. Is that it is wrong to say that, we do not know how to motivate our children. Because we have been in the field of teaching for so many years, and if you raise your hand and say, I'm not able to motivate a child, that's a wrong statement. Because one very myth of a particular word called motivation, one very myth, right? I don't know whether it's the right usage. One very myth. Let me first put it across to you. What is a myth on motivation? One very myth, I understand that. Right or wrong in my English construction, but the one very myth will go to two very myth and three very myth. Let's see how many myths we know about motivation. The first one very myth is, teachers have said many times that Methil Krish, my name is Methil Krish. He's never motivated. He's never motivated at all in the class. All others are motivated, but this particular kid Krish is not motivated at all. That's one very myth. Because, dash. Because, dash. Why I'm not going to say this? Let me tell you the one very myth and the two very myth. Before that, I want each of you to understand that all human behavior is motivated. Every action of your child in the classroom is because of motivation. As a human being, anything that you do is because of motivation. If a child sleeps in your classroom because she or he is motivated. If any of my teachers who are attending my class leaves my class, it's because he's or she is motivated to leave my class. Please understand this. It is not because of known motivation. It's only because of the fact that she or he is motivated to leave my live class without listening to what I'm going to talk to them. So it is the motivation which leads every human behavior actions. The actions that every human being does, I lift my hand because I'm motivated to lift my hand. Except one thing, that is the heart pumping the blood 24/7. Except for the heart pumping the blood, every human behavior is motivated. Understand this first. So don't tell to the principal or the principal to somebody else that this child in my class is not motivated. That's wrong statement. That's a myth. So one very myth. Let's go to the two very myth. Some teachers say Krish is motivated one day and next day she's not, or he's not motivated. You can't say, because motivation is it's like constant. It's like love. You can't say, I love my husband on one day I love him, second day I don't love him, third day I love him, fourth day I don't love him. On Wednesday I love my husband, Thursday I don't love him. Oh my God, it is impossible. Love is constant. Imagine a teacher has a fight with her husband in the morning because he wanted to have bread and she makes idlis, and there is a quarrel, and suddenly both of them fight with each other. It's the usual phenomena happens in every house. And then she leaves the school, and suddenly by afternoon he calls up the principal and says, oh look, there's a small cut in my finger, just informed my wife. And the wife, oh my God. Then she thinks, oh, morning I had a fight with my husband, and oh, today. So she rushes to the house at evening when she sees the husband with a little cut. Oh my God, you should see the reaction. If there is a camera to be, recorded. Oh my God, it's as if the entire hand is cut. A small little cut. Oh my God, how did it happen? So what happened to the anger what you had in the morning? Because you can't say that I was angry in the morning, evening I'm not angry. It's constant. So it's wrong to say the second very myth is yes. It cannot be, because there is, again, if people are into physics, see, when you leave a clock right, at different timings. There will be one particular point of time that all the three clocks, bingo, 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 come to one particular time. I'm not a physics teacher. If there's a physics teacher listening to me, this will happen, right? You leave it at 12:40, one at 11:40, one at 12:20. But there will be a particular, as it goes and grows, there is one particular moment of time. All the three clocks will bingo, 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 come at one particular time. So that is the time when a child gets motivated. So, his reactions are terrible. But suddenly one fine morning he comes and says, "Teacher, you are looking so beautiful today." That's the time he gets motivated. And what do? You just pull him down and say, "What the hell? There's a silent child, a silent kid of my class, suddenly wakes up and says, he's motivated." Teachers, come on. That's the time he's motivated. And he comes and says, "You're beautiful." That's because he's motivated. But you pull him down again. You push him down again. Saying, "Shut up. What the hell are you talking about my beauty? I'm beautiful every day." But for him, that particular day, right, all of the days his performance was inconsistent. Suddenly he becomes a consistent child and then wakes up and says, "Teacher, you look so beautiful." And what do? Shut up. Sit down. Please don't do that, teachers. You can see the vibes. You can see some signals. You can see some positiveness. There's a green shoot which just shoots up from that little child. Pull him up instead of pushing him down. Don't push him down. So it happens that inconsistency goes on. Suddenly the consistency comes in terms of his performance, and suddenly he wakes up and says, "Teacher, you're so beautiful." That's it. You just go hug him and say, "Hi, dear, how did you feel today?" And that is the level of motivation that needs to be pushed up rather than pulled down. But most of the teachers fail to do that. So that is maybe you can say third, right? One very myth, two very myth, three very myth, and the fourth very myth. Look, teachers, you always go and complain to the principal and saying, "Look, Krish, he's so lazy that he won't even try." Let me tell you, nobody's lazy. I don't think anybody is lazy. If Krish is not trying because he's not lazy, it's because of learned helplessness. Now, you know nothing about the car, right? You go to a friend of yours who knows everything about the car, but you know how to drive the car. And you drive the car, suddenly the car stops on the way, but you don't know where is the bonnet, how to open the bonnet, nothing you know. So the car stops. The friend who is sitting on the left side of yours, if you're driving in India, if you're driving abroad, sometimes US, it's the right side. The friend will say, "What the hell is happening here? She's so lazy to get out and open the bonnet." But unfortunately, it's not that she's lazy, but she doesn't know how to pull that knob to open the. And even she opens the knob, she doesn't know where is the engine, what is that, nothing, but she knows driving. So it is very wrong to say that the child has certain helplessness. Because I tell this many times to my teachers, you must be like doctors, differential diagnosis. Right? It's very wrong to say that both the headaches, the cause could be the same. But the result could be the same, but the cause can be different. Are you able to see my, right? Are you able to see my, is it okay? Has something happened? Okay, it's okay, sorry. Okay, so it is not correct for teachers to say, "Look, that your child is lazy." Nobody is lazy. The problem is helplessness. How many times my maths teacher tried to teach me mathematics? And it's not because I was lazy, because my understanding of maths was a little slow. But if a teacher calls me lazy, I'm sorry. So, you know what I said, the reason for a headache can be different. The outcome of that can be the headache, but it could be because of tumor. It could be because of non-sleep. A teacher has to diagnose this. Teacher need to diagnose this in different two ways. And teacher cannot say this, for example, 3 children in your class are sleeping. See, it's not they're sleeping because they're lazy. They're sleeping with 3 different reasons. One is late night watching TV, right? One has not had food, headache, right? One has something to do with the brain, some problem inside. But if the teacher gives the same treatment to cure this headache with the similar actions, she's going to fail. If the doctor treats a patient with a tumor by giving him some anazin and aspro, it's not going to go. He has to diagnose it and treat it in a different way. So I think these are the myths which we should get out of the mind. We should get out of the mind in terms of all this 3 or 4 myths. And if you have taken it off, and how do you do that? How do you do that? Is only through give the chain a tug. You know these elephants. How many of you have seen elephants in the circus or even the temples? The huge elephants weighing 3.5 to 4 tons. They're all tied in a small little chain. You know, the 3.5 to 4 tons elephant can break a building within no time, but he or she will not do it. You know why? You know why? Because when it was a child, the baby elephant, 500 kilos weighing, the Marat used to tie it up in a small little chain. And whenever it is trying to move out of the chain, the Marat used to poke it and slightly bleed it. And that used to pain the little baby elephant. And the moment it pains, it goes back. So, you know, the same habit, even when it grows up because of mind. So it feels that it tries to pull itself off from the chain. The Marat is going to poke and bleed the elephant. Please remember this. So I think teachers need to get out of this, you know, mentality saying that Krish cannot be motivated. Krish is motivated one day, not the next day. Krish is lazy, so he's not motivated. All this you need to get it out of your mind. And I want you to get out of this field, especially on the myths which I mentioned to you today. So that's what I meant. Give the chain a tug. Now, what do you do? Teachers without knowing what exactly is the problem with the child. You know, you give gifts to the child to motivate. I know there are so many parents who would say, hey, do your homework, study well, I'll give you a Cadbury's chocolate. You give a gift and motivate him. You tell a student, hey, come on, you study and come tomorrow, I'm bringing a gift for you. That's wrong. Because the guy who would study is not studying for studying. He's just studying to get the gift from you. So, you know, that's the wrong strategy. Don't ever do this. I remember Rajiv Gandhi's times in Delhi, to make people read, go to the library, they used to give a token. That once you take a book from the library in Delhi, from a village, from a small little rural area, Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, wanted all them to be literate. So they said, look, how do you make these children go to the library? Is to, moment they take a book, you give them a token. With the token, you can go and buy some 4 samosas from a bakery. So after some 6 months, he went and saw, oh, guys have not, you know, learned anything from the books, but each of them had put in a lot of weight. So they used to go to the library not for book or learning. They used to go for those 4 free samosas. So gift is no use at all. Punishment. Come on, teachers. You think you are great by giving punishment to your children, students, because that guy doesn't get, no, he doesn't get motivated by punishments. I'm sorry. Teachers, you know what he does? Maybe when you punish him, that would be there for half an hour. 10 minutes, half an hour, or maybe 1 hour, maybe 2 hours. Nothing. It's not going to help at all. And you get into the wrong bosom of a child. So, kneeling down, getting up on the bench. You think you can motivate a child? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. This is my personal feeling. But then I felt, no. Because I've gone through all this and I was never motivated at all. So I'm sorry. It doesn't really work. By giving punishments, nothing is going to work, teachers. Get out of those fields. The third is competition. Oh my God. You make the children compete. Come on. You tell the students participation is more important, but you make them compete. You have to compete with the same age, same level of, students. You can't compete, like, for example, a running race from 6th standard guy competing with the 8th standard guy. Oh my God, I don't think competition is going to, like, for example, the marathon, about more than 50,000 people run. You think 50,000 people are running because they will all come first? No. Those running, like, I know out of the 50,000, maybe 10 would be great sprinters or athletes or running athletes. Balance 49,000, sorry, we can maths, 49,990 would be just running to see how they are improving from the previous marathon what they ran. So that's it. So, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You may agree, disagree. That's a different way. Competitions. Okay, fine. Dance competition. That's all doesn't motivate. The guy who wins the first, oh my God. Okay, I'm happy. The others get demotivated. You see in all those, singing competitions in the televisions. How do they cry? The parents, oh my God, push them, and they don't win. They cry, they sob, they get depressed. So what is this? So I don't think that is also going to create any. So gift is not going to help. Competition is not going to help, right? Then what did I say? The previous one. Punishment doesn't help. Then what really helps? All right. How many of you know this gentleman? And if you don't know this gentleman, you'll have to go back to your B.Ed for 4 years now. The NEP 2020 says 4 years. How many of you know him? And I've seen in many of the places when I show these photographs to the teachers, none of them recognize this person because, no, I won't say because, but this is the person you must all know because his name appears in all those B.Ed courses. It was 1 year, now it's 2 years, future is going to be 4 years, it's going to be tough. So his name is Maslow. Maslow's theory says he's been always talking about the hierarchy of needs, that would go from the lower requirements to the higher requirements. And once the lower gets fulfilled, then you go to the next step. When that gets fulfilled, you get to the next plan. Then you get, then you go for a self-actualization. So if teachers who have not heard this, please understand what is this Maslow's theory. And you must read it. And this is a true fact by Maslow. Abraham Maslow, his full name is. So, Maslow's theory maintains that a person does not feel a higher need until the needs of the current level have been satisfied. And what are the basic needs? Maslow has split into two needs, the primary needs and the secondary needs. The primary needs are the must. Without that, I'm sorry, we can't survive. So before we talk about the primary and secondary needs, let's talk about the stages of those Maslow's theory. So first is the psychological needs, right? You need food, you need air, you need water, you need clothing, and sex is something which I wouldn't agree with him because that's only, it is nothing a necessity. It's only just a biological need. But food, air, water, clothing, yes, those are the psychology. Without food, no. Without air, no. Without water, no. Even clothing for that matter. There were times when people have no clothes to wear, but food, air, water are the basic needs. Maslow, I'm sorry, you need to stand corrected on this. Maybe I'm wrong, so I stand corrected. So that is the psychological needs. Without this, you cannot, without having all these 3 or 4 or 5, you cannot say, I need to have a bungalow, I need to have a car, I need to have this. And so once that is fulfilled, you go to the next level. And the next level is the safety needs. Once you get all this, the primary basic needs, you need production, you need stability, you need, you don't want any pain to come to you. And it becomes a routine order. So once the safety and security comes to you, then you go to the third stage. And the third stage is the social needs. Oh my God. You want to have a family, you want to have accepting people must accept you, you must get into inclusion, you must be there in everything, you must have affection. So you want people, to love you, and you said, I'm part of this, and all those comes in the social needs. You want to go to the party clubs, right? The esteem needs are the 1, 2, 3, 4th, where you have to have, I need to have self. People should get up when I come in. People should respect you. People should respect you, and you must be respected by the society. So these are when you reach on to the next. And then once you reach the first, second, third, and fourth teachers, you get on to the final self-actualization mode. That means yes, which means you have achieved full potential. That's the fulfillment. What Abraham Maslow says is that every stage needs to be fulfilled before you get into the next stage. And when you get to the fourth stage and the final stage is self-actualization. Keep this in mind. You must know this as a teacher. And if you don't know, at least know it now, teachers. And this is what is the pyramid of, psychological safety and security, love and belonging, self-esteem and self-actualization. Yes, so let's get on to the primary needs. The primary first need for a child before he gets motivated. If a child is hungry, he can never ever get motivated. I'd bet on this. If a child is hungry, he can never be. If he has not had his breakfast in the morning, whatever you try to motivate him to open the books, he will never get motivated. So I will tell you a trick or a strategy. Take some extra food so that if a child in your class is not had taken the breakfast, give it to him. The second one is water. Let your children drink as much as water and whenever they want. Teachers sometimes don't permit the children to drink. Thirsty is something which, if you're thirsty and hungry, you can never be more motivated. So these are two basic primary requirements for a child to get motivated. See that they drink water often. See that their stomach is not very full. At least it is able to set off those hunger in a child. An hungry child can never be motivated. A thirsty child can never be motivated. So allow them. They want some free air, teachers. When I say free air, the problem with all your teachers is moment the 40 minutes over, the other teacher comes, takes on with the chalk duster. Oh my God. By the time that second period is over, the third teacher comes. My God, it's killing for the students. Allow your child to run onto the ground for about 2-3 minutes. 5 minutes doesn't really make a difference. Let them go run. Have some fresh airs. Come on, you have 8 periods, 9 periods. Every 40 minutes, another teacher comes, then another teacher comes. It's killing. For you, it may be a different class. For the student, it is again a different class. But again, it is a class. Please, teachers, keep this in mind. Give them some. Allow them to run for about a couple of minutes to 3 minutes. Let them get some fresh air. Imagine, even for 1 hour, you are not able to sit and listen to me. But when you make a child sit for 8 hours, from morning 9 to 5, it's a torture for them. Please have a heart for them. Let them, make them feel. They enjoy running. Slowly let them run. Come back. I've told this to quite a few teachers, and that has made a lot of difference. When they come back to the class, they have taken fresh air inside. Allow them to do that. Sleep. You can't have, maybe people say 8 hours, but I'm sure 6 hours of solid sleep is more than enough. And I don't expect now the students to sit by midnight, 12 o'clock, sleep up to 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't believe in that strategy. Early to bed. You heard? Early to bed, early to rise. So sleep early. 6 hours, sound sleep, no disturbance, healthy, right? More than enough. So I think if you're not having that 6 hours of sound sleep, I'm sorry, you cannot be motivated. Right. Again, if a child has some stomach problem, allow them to go to the toilet. Let them clear off their tummy, come back. Most of the teachers don't allow. They say, hey, come on, there's a 40 minutes break, half an hour break, you should have gone then. How do the children, do they have a, sort of a time clock or something like that where it comes to you that particular time, tuck, it comes, okay, rush to the toilet. It doesn't happen that way. Allow them, teachers, poor fellows. You can't have the sitting like this and no, you can't. Allow them to go. So, these are the primary requirements, basic requirements, which I want all of you to look at this. All right. So Yes. If you permit me, I just need to take this call because it's just an urgent call. Please allow me to do that. Right. Okay. 1 minute. Hello. Hello. From where? From where?
Sir, you are on mute.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, air, food, right? Air, food, water. What else? This toilet. All this you keep in mind when you go to class next. The next would be, you know, don't embarrass your child. That will never. If the more you embarrass the child in front of the others, I'm sorry. You want to fire him, her, bring him, her separately. Don't ever do that. And if you do this with a particular child, he will never get motivated. Don't make fun of him. Maybe a child has his own problem. In fact, you make fun of him, you will be made fun of by the children. So don't in front of others. Advise him, direct him, guide him. So please, if you do this to a particular child in the presence of the other child, hey, why did you fail, man? Why did you fail? You are a Buddhu, nothing inside. All this, if you say in front of the other children, this guy will never ever get motivated. In fact, he will get into a lot of depressive modes. So please don't do that. I know teachers don't do that. Now, these are the basic needs and the primary needs. I'm going to the secondary needs, and I want you teachers to evaluate yourself. How big are this in your life? No, these are the basic needs. For example, if I say status, for me, I'm just comparing me. Status on top, status on middle, status on below. There were times when I was working for corporates, I was always looking for a status. But today, when I'm into a field of education, for me, status is down, not even in the middle. I don't want any status. So, what about you teachers? There are some teachers on top status. Yes, I am from a public school, international school. I'm from this school. So I'm the principal. I'm a senior principal. So there are some, yes, teachers and they need status. They need status. I'm not denying that. For some it will be here, middle, and some it will be bottom. The other one is, for some teachers, there, some of the other secondary need is inquisitiveness. Now, for me, yes, I'm too inquisitive. When I meet you, I'll ask you, oh, this, that, this, that. So for me, inquisitive is on the top, status is below. For some teachers, inquisitives may be below or in the middle. So it depends on you. Some people want to know, they want to know what's happening around. So that would be the second, secondary need. The third is affiliation. If I ask somebody, one of the teachers here, which school are you studying? I'm sorry, teaching. I'm teaching in X school, affiliated to Cambridge, affiliated to Harvard, affiliated to Central Board of Secondary Education, because some people need that. The affiliation makes them feel proud. For me, absolutely, affiliation is below. I want affiliation. I'm individual, Methil Krish. I don't need any affiliation. For some teachers, yes, proud to say I am affiliated from this school. From this school doing this CBSE or ICSE or whatever it is, or IB or whatever it is. So some teachers affiliation, they'll say, they meet a friend on the way, hey, which school are you teaching here? I'm teaching in this school affiliated to speaker. Nothing wrong. Some teacher here, some teacher top, some teacher bottom. Now the other one is, oh my God, power. Some teachers need power. What is this, sir? Unless you give me power, how do I motivate? I mean, that is the secondary. And I need power. The principals need power. Power to decide, power to discharge. For me, I also need power. If I have to have a webinar and I have to organize this, I have the power to decide who should come. Because I think I've conducted close to about 70 odd webinars in the last couple of months or 2.5 months now. So it was all done by me and my team, So I take calls on what, when, why, where. So I need to have the power. If I have to depend on somebody else to decide who should come, when it should start, then, no. For me, power, yes, I want it on top of me. For some, middle, for some, below. Doesn't matter. All right. Now, yes, this is, some people, they, oh my God, sometimes achievement motivates them. If you tell them, you have won the first prize. For me, it doesn't really matter whether you say my session was good, bad, ugly. It doesn't matter. Come on, yeah. But who bothers about it? So for me, achievement, somebody gives me a medal or, it's gone. I mean, I don't believe in that. For me, it is bottom. Teachers, yes. Some teachers on top. The National Best Teacher Award. CBSE, right? Teacher Principal Award 2019-2020. All that's been announced. So for you, those achievements would be excellent. For me, achievements are on the bottom. Some people on the top, some people middle. So it doesn't matter. So, I'm telling you how one could get motivated. Then come to the next. Yes, this is something aggressive. Somebody, aggressive motivate. They need that aggression. I'm an aggressive guy. One cut, two pieces. One cut, two pieces. Some teachers also like me on top. Some teachers middle. Some teachers. Why I'm saying these are the secondary, needs of people. Like, I want to be aggressive. So these are the secondary requirements. So needs, right? Primary needs and secondary needs. This is all Maslow's theory. All right. So it's not my theory, but I'm trying to push this theory into motivation. That's what I'm trying to do. So don't get confused. This guy's autonomy. Some people, I don't like autonomy. I like with people. I like chatting with people. I like mixing with people. I like dining with people. I like traveling with the people. For teachers, autonomy is very important because their teaching profession, they are alone. They like to be alone, sitting in a corner, learning. For you, it could be on top. For you, it could be middle. For you, it could be bottom. Some of the teachers can be in one of these three categories. For me, it is totally teacher, bottom. I don't like this autonomy. I don't want that autonomy. Gregarious, right? Oh, I'm a gregarious guy on the top. But some, like, teachers would be, social gatherings, get-togethers, spending the evening with friends and relatives, right? The Saturday night fever, all this, yes, gregarious. For me, gregarious is on the top. See, if somebody wants to invite me for a lunch or something, wherever you are attending, I will come. I don't feel out, next time. Absolutely no. Welcome. Right? So some teachers may be on the top, some middle, some on the top, bottom. The next is the prayer. See, why I'm saying all this, I'll come to the strategies now. I said somebody, they were gregarious, achievement, somebody on bottom, right? Autonomy, we spoke about power, we spoke about inquisitiveness, we spoke about status. So if you look at it, teachers, nobody will be the same. Nobody can say status, inquisitive, all are same. Like each of you are different in each of this secondary needs, right? You get what I'm saying, no? I was on top for something, so you would have been bottom there. Some teacher would be in middle. So it is all different. When it is all different, please remember one thing, teachers. The students who are in your classroom are also different. The 40, 60 students have the similar different. Right? You must understand those different. Some people praise maybe on top. Some people will be achievement, maybe bottom. So if you're able to understand those 40, 50 students in your classroom, by knowing what level they are, then you can apply some formulas for motivating them. Don't bluntly, because you are like this, don't. Because you love achievements. Let me give them a certificate. Let me give them a small little cup. And if that fellow, that achievement is not top, he will not bother. That won't motivate him. If somebody's autonomy, like, he likes to be single, there you put him into a project with 20 students. That fellow will be fish out of water. Don't do that. A gregarious guy who likes to mix with people, put him into a project. Works. So based on understanding each of your child, right, it can easily understand how they are by the reaction within 2, 3 or 4 days. By getting into the class, you will know how each children are by interacting with them, being inclusive into them. Right? You can know. And if you're not able to know, I think you have to do a bit more study on this. So if you understand your child, get on to this. Get on to this. Strategy number 1, pray. If somebody is there on a status, if you want a promotion as a vice principal, go and praise your principal. Madam, I have not seen, because she looks at status. Such a law, such a energetic, such a competent principal at all in my life. Go and praise. But if that principal is, it doesn't get motivated if he's not bothered about status. Like, come on, do your job. If I was the principal, if you come and praise me, I'll say, come on, do your job. Yeah. Chalo, yeah. But for people who believes, on those status, on those achievements, right? Praise will work there. The next is prizes. Yes, if people are into, that sort of achievement mode is on the top, give him some prizes. That will motivate him. I'm not saying don't give them prizes. Don't give them gifts. Give them prizes. So let's go to work. But guy who is not bothered, the level of his achievement, like me, if you come and give me a prize and say, Krish, you've done a wonderful job, I say, thank you so much, keep the prize back. I won't get motivated. So strategy number 2. Strategy number 3, prestige. A guy inquisitiveness, a guy status, a guy achievement. All these guys, they want, everybody, most of them want the prestige. Right? Prestige. You know what is prestige? I'm not able to explain to what prestige. You all know what prestige. Give a prestigious treatment to those students who believes in status, who believes in achievement, who believes in inquisitiveness. Right? Give them a prestigious, a ceremonial treatment. They get motivated. So the other P is this. Projects, as I mentioned to you, give those projects to people who are gregarious, people who are non-autonomy people who are into, achievements. All these fellows will work with projects. Thinking, all those people who are into all those categories will work with projects. People who are secluded, like, autonomy guys. People who are inquisitive, don't put them into projects. And people also. Why people? Right? Don't put them into people. Because people who are inquisitiveness will go, and actually I'm inquisitive on the top, sometimes spoil the team. Gregarious, yes. Right. Or extrovert, yes. Status guys, no. Because he wants to be a separate, So those, all guys who will get to, sort of know each other well by shaking hands. Those are the guys you can put him along with the people. He gets motivated. For example, somebody doesn't want to speak, put them along with, but he's into a sort of achievement category. Somebody into that gregarious, want to mix with people, extravagant type personality. Push him into people. He gets motivated. Push him into people who talks, who speaks. So he will start talking. But an autonomy guy, push him into the people. I'm sorry, he will spoil the apple cart. So I think these are the ways. So you have people praise, prize, right? What not? People, projects, prestige, prize, praise, and those are the strategies based on your understanding of whether a person is gregarious, a person is wants power, a person wants inquisitiveness, achievement, status. Right. So based on that, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strategies for your understanding of motivating people. So I get on to the next 2 last important things, and then I close with that. We have just 5 more minutes to go. Teachers, what I want you to do is, when you talk about the power, if you give powers to your children, right? Nothing you're losing. It's like a lit candle lighting the other candle. Because your candle is lit, the other candle is not lit. You bring this candle close to the other candle, it gets lit off. Nothing happens to your power. Nothing happens to your power. Power you can share. You can give powers to your child. For example, For example, take a commitment from a child and give them choices of those two powers. Now, when I say commitment, if, for example, if I'm a guy who comes always late to the school, a teacher don't tell him don't come late, don't come late, he'll come late. Just ask him, tomorrow will you come late? He will say yes, or he'll say no. 90, 70 to 80% of the students will say I will not come late. But take a commitment from him, I will not come late. There are 10% like other students who will say no, I will still come late. That you take separately. But this guy, to motivate him to come on time, take a commitment saying that, look, I'll come on time tomorrow. And next day again he will come late. You pull him up and ask him, look, you said, no, you committed, you said to me, a teacher, that you will come on time, but you came late. You let me down, my dear child. And I tell you, teachers, the moment you say to a child, a student, that he or she let a teacher down, he will never do that. His level of motivation will move up because he knows he committed and he totally behaved in a different way. So teacher, first thing on a power is take commitment. Use your power of taking commitment. Don't advise him, don't come late. Tomorrow if you come late, I'll punish you. All those won't work. Take a commitment. Point number one. The other one is, choices. For example, if you want to motivate a child to write an exam, if you come to the class and say, hey, tomorrow 10 o'clock there's a written test. All of them will say. Instead of saying that, just go and ask your child. Children in the class. Tomorrow is going to be a test. Would you like to have it in the morning? Or do you like to have it in the afternoon? So when you give a choice, the students will say, hey, teachers are so good, yeah. They're feeling that we are important, we can decide. But actually, what is that? Whether you have it in the morning or evening or afternoon, what difference it makes? Give your children the choice to choose. The moment you give them a choice to choose, they get motivated. Don't, force it onto them that there is a test tomorrow. All children will say, oh my God. So give them a choice and take a commitment. And when you take a commitment and give them a choice, that would be the best way to motivate a child. Instead of giving them gift and punishments and competition, give them a choice and yes, take a commitment from the child. See the difference, and that difference would be a positive response from your child when you go back to your school after all the problems get solved. So this is the success for you teachers in motivating your children. So thank you so much. And I would like to say, if he had only tried harder, he would do better. But I would say, if he only did better, he would try harder. So let us make him do better so that he would try harder. So this is Methil Krish reporting to you, and anybody has anything to be cleared from me, you can always reach me at 9677507390. 9677507390. WhatsApp. On FB, it's Methil Krish. And if somebody wants to write to me, ms_krish@cb.amrita.edu. I think this is what I thought I will share with you, that motivation is not through hurting the children. Motivation is through creating that bonding between the teacher and the child. The more bonding you create with the teacher and the child gets self-motivated. The child feels, I should not let down my teacher. The child feels that I must listen to the teacher. The child feels that teacher respects me. The child feels that teacher gives me importance in my life. The child feels that I'm a part of this teacher family. Inclusion. Include your child as part of you. There's only one way to motivate a child. past those 4 letters, the love, L-O-V-E. I'm sure sticks don't work anywhere. The love can make a difference in the level of motivation with our children. So this is Methil Krish saying thanks to all those who attended my motivational breakthrough class. And I'm sure those people who haven't attended, I want them to really feel sorry for not attending. And for those of you who attended, please try this trick, the power, commitment, and choices. You will see success in motivating your children, your classroom. So this is Methil Krish signing off from Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Till we meet again, it's Jai Hind. Bye-bye. Thank you.